Right. Hi, everyone. From the bottom of my heart, I welcome you on today's edition. It is titled Shame and Dishonor. Shame and Dishonor. But before I move ahead, I would like to appreciate all my subscribers and supporters. I thank you for your immense effort to keep me moving on this track, But the new ones who are yet to subscribe, please, I simply direct you to Google King. Just get down to YouTube, write Google King, in bracket Youth Kingdom. You will see all my videos. Just press the red button, subscribe, and make sure you share to all your contacts for them to understand what is going on in our society, what we are doing. I appreciate you once more. Thank you so much. Now let's get into the business of the day. In this issue of shame and dishonor, I come across a lot of, debates, discussions, disgrace, shame, all these insults being poured on this, our very young guy, Fani Kayode, of Femi Fani Kayode, aka FFK. We all know him. He's a very pragmatic politician. He's a very, intelligent guy, as we may say. This guy won my heart. I respect him so much because he's always direct to the top, or direct to, every topic you present before him, or he presents to the public. He doesn't mince words in saying whatever he wants to say. He's somebody who will call a spade a spade. That was what I used to know about him, or what I can tell people about him. He justice, or he's a guest speaker in most of the honored events, that are hosted in Biafran land, or in some very interesting occasions. He honors the chairmanship of every event. He was the darling of the people, if I may say in a nutshell. FFK was the darling of the people because in most of the issues he supports Biafran restoration and agitation. Besides that, his wife comes from the eastern side of the country. See, when things are happening, try to understand actually, the stance of people, the intentions and the minds of people before you jump into conclusion. Probably we made a mistake to believe he's the right guy at the right moment, or he's the round peg in the round hole. But this time, if I may conclude in a nutshell, with the true events of things happening right now, I will say that FFK is a round peg in a square hole. Somebody may ask why. This is somebody people respect so much. But to our imagination, I don't know how to say this, but I want people to understand the level this guy have gotten himself into. In most of the things that are happening in Nigeria, especially the insecurity, the genocidal system of destroying of lives, the systematic extermination of Biafrans, the destruction of properties, every evil things that have been going wrong in the zoological republic called Nigeria. You must hear a comment from FFK. And here he has been, bombarding the Janjaweed and the Fulanese. Their Ruga, their Fulanization and Islamization tactics is at the forefront, destroying. Even he was a whistleblower that tell the world the intention of the Janjaweeds when they dethroned Emir Sanusi. He was the one that made people to understand that they are preparing Sanusi for 2023 presidential election. Things that are hidden by this very regime, you can hear it from FFK. So why at this very point did he decide to go so low? Did he decide to disgrace himself? Did he decide to put himself to shame, to destroy his career, integrity, articulation, and all the rest of it? To go to the same Janjaweed he has been destroying, to hustle for a title. You see, let me say, they gave him the title of Zadawo King of Chinkafe. Chinkafe is a town in Zamfara State. So you can imagine the level he has gotten himself into. He just went there, he connived with the emir of Chinkafe to get himself a title or to be crowned, an emir. Then you can ask, what is his intention for going for this very particular position of this particular title? Is he really preparing himself that any moment the Fulanis or the Janjaweed finish with their Fulanization and Islamization, then he will be easy for him to be carried over, to become an emirate of one city or one town in his area? You can imagine that reasoning. You can imagine his mentality. You can imagine the level he has gone. Is it wise? Then what do you tell your followers? What do you tell the people out there? What do you tell the public? This thing could have been a thing that we hear, are done in secret. But eventually, most organizations in the northern part of Nigeria, most towns and most cities in Janjaweed area, they are complaining. There is one that called themselves or said Reloaded Initiative of Sokoto. Reloaded Initiative from Sokoto State. They said if this emir didn't revise the title given to this man, that they would show him that they are the owners of the land. And the Emirate Council from this Chinkafe, they have decided to resign if the emir failed to reverse the title given to FFK. You see that? You see the confusion, the crisis, the disarray, the whole thing have gone on. So what are we talking about? Is this the right thing? Is this the right, decision by this our very young man? You see that people are doing things mindlessly without considering the effect, without considering what will be tomorrow, like what tomorrow will be like. You see, we must think before we talk. We must think before we act. We must think before we perform any action. You can't just rise up from from any corner of where you are dwelling and say you want to do this. Think about the repercussions. Think about the effects. Think about the opinion of people around you. Okay, now these things have been, gotten to this level. Shame and dishonor. What will be the future of this very young man? What will be his contribution to affairs happening in Nigeria? In the zoo, there is a long way to go yet. There is problem, there is tension everywhere. There are things we expected to know or to hear from this very young man. There are a lot of contributions we believe it could have been done positively to affect changes in Nigeria. But now, who will believe him again? Yes, it is said that apple never fall far from the tree, or the leopard never forget its color. And again, we say that a goat never gives birth to a lion. Probably it might be a cause or a disaffection from his area where he's coming from that affected him or what. And our people said, the smell of a shrew is always from the bomb. I don't know how many FFK are there. And we believe that there are thousands of them that will act in this way, probably for their own political gains or their own passion on whatever they believe in. But the wise thing to do is for us to change our mentality. Let us reason before we talk. Let us reason before we talk. You cannot talk after you start reasoning. It brings disaffection. It brings disunity. Now the Janjaweeds have rejected him. They called him an enemy. He disgraced them. He put them to shame. He let them down. He insulted them. And again, the tradition given to him is a disrepute to their tradition and religion. They can never accept him as one of their own, no matter his lineage. Yes, I said it at the beginning. The day I started hearing Fanikayo changing his statement and stance against the Janjaweeds, I know something has gone wrong. And now he has lived to prove it. My statement is right. And I believe my conscience cannot deceive me. So let us do things right. Let us do things right. We know that political people, political elites in Nigeria, they never do things that seems right all the time. The moment you spend this position, an appointment connected with politics in Nigeria, it's hardly you see that person behaving like human. Or you hardly see the person acting like a reasonable fellow. They are always dense and shame. They are always dishonor and disregard. Let us change this. I think the new generation of Nigerians or the new generation of Biafrans will start changing this so that tomorrow will be a better place for us to dwell. Thank you so much for listening. I believe in you. I trust in you. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe.